Yeah, good day everyone. You're welcome to class today. All right. Okay. I want to believe you guys are doing fine. All right. So today we are going to be looking at some set of questions, just like I said in my last video. Okay. So we are going to be looking at some questions under duration, quadratic equations, and also logical reasoning and other questions. We are going to be looking at different type of questions. So I want you to get ready. Get yourself ready for this class. Kindly inform your classmates, let them know the class has started, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. So if you are new on this channel and you have not subscribed to this channel, please ensure to do that. And also don't forget to tap the like button. All right. Okay. So in the next few seconds, we are going to commence the class. Please kindly inform your friends, let them know the class has started. Okay. All right. Okay. I want to believe um, you have informed your friend. Okay. So as you are entering, make sure you salute. Yes. Shotala, you are welcome. Yes. Darasimi, you are welcome. Mujisola, you are welcome. Obasoya. Yes, I can see Adiomi. I can see Shobamu. And yes. Okay. Christina, I can see you. I can see I know. Yes. Okay. So I think it's high time we started. Okay. All right. So we are starting with this question here under variation. A varies directly as the two-thirds of B and inversely as the square root of C. Now, when A is 4 and B is 4 and C is 16, find the value of P when C is 35/4 and B equals to A equals to 4. All right. Now, the first thing is to write the variation. Okay, so we have that A varies directly as two-thirds of B. Okay, so since it's a partial variation, we have to introduce a proportionality constant. Okay, so we have two-thirds. Two-thirds is 2/3. Okay, so now two-thirds of B and inversely as the square root of C. Inversely as the square root of C, that is times 1 over square root of C. All right. Now let's go through it again. Now A varies directly as the two-thirds of B. Two-thirds of B and inversely as the square root of inversely. So you have the reciprocal. Inversely as the square root of C. Can you see the square root of C? So now you write it neatly this way. You have A varies. Okay, let's still skip this equality. So let's use variation sign because it's joint variation now. Okay, so we have 2B over 3 square root of C. Okay, so that is what you have. Now, you can now introduce the proportionality constant. So we have A equals to 2BK over 3 square root of C, where K is a constant. All right, I hope you understand that. Okay, so let's move further. Now we have been given the values of A, B, and C. Now let's plug in the values of A, B, and C. A is 4. We have 4 equals to 2 times B is what? 4. We have 4 times K, everything over 2 times square root of C. C is what? 16. All right, so that is the same thing as, let's cross multiply. We have 4 times 3 times square root of 16, which is the same thing as 4, equals to 2 times 4 times k. All right, we can divide both sides by 4. So 4 cancel this 4 here. All right, so we are left with 2 here. So 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 2. So what we have at this side now is going to be 6 equals to k. So our proportionality constant is 6. Now we entered this 6 into this equation. So we have a equals to 2 times k. K is 6 times b over 3 square root of c. Okay, so now when you look at this, now 3 goes here 1, 3 goes here 2. So we have thus a equals to 4b over square root of c. And that is the connecting formula, okay? All right, so now the question asks you to find b when c is 25 over 4 and a is 4. Now, can we plug in the values here and see? So let's plug in the values. So a is 4. So we have 4 equals to 4 times b, and that's what we are looking for. So we have 4b over square root of what? Square root of 25 over 4. Okay, so now this equation turns to 4 equals to 4b divided by, okay, divided by, you can find square root of 25, that's 5 over 2. Square root of 4 is 2. All right, so we have 4. From here, you can divide both sides by 4. All right, so 4 goes here 1, 4 goes here 1. So you have 1 equals to b times 2 over 5. I hope you understand what I'm doing. So I'm doing two things at the same time. So I divided both sides by 4. Okay, and here you change this to multiplication. So 2 goes up and 5 comes down. All right, so here now you can divide both sides by 2 over 3. So when you do that, you have b equals to 5 over 2. So it's just going to be the reciprocal of 2 over 5. So therefore, b equals to 2 whole number 1 over 2. And that's the answer to the problem, right? So I hope we all understand that. So now can we move down to another question here? Now the next question. Okay. Yeah. This is under quadratic equation. So it is solve 3r plus 1 over 2 minus 1 over r equals to 0. Okay, so that is it. Okay. 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 All right. So now, how do we solve this problem? Now, the first thing is to look at the denominators. So we have 2, we have r, okay? So we find the LCM of the denominators. So what is the LCM of the denominators? So you have 2r, okay? So now you multiply each of the term by the LCM of the denominators. So I'm multiplying this by 2r, so I have 3r plus 1 over 2. Now this times 2r minus 1 times 2r over r equals to 0 times 2r. So I've multiplied each of these terms by the LCM of the denominators. Okay? So now 2 cancel 2 here. These cancel this. R cancel r. So we are left with now r here. So this r multiplies everything we have inside. So we have 3r squared plus r minus, now we are left with 2 and 1 here. 2, so 2 times 1, that is 2, equals to 0. All right, so the next thing is to solve this quadratic equation. So we need to identify the sum and product. Okay, while we are doing that, I want you to give me two numbers such that when we multiply together, you have -6, which is the product. I know you know how to get that, and the sum is +1. Okay, what are the two numbers? So can you tell me the two numbers? All right. Okay, so the two numbers, okay, along with me, I can see your results. 3 and -2, yes. Okay, yeah, yeah, Mujisola, yes, I can see that. Show me the, yes. Riscott, okay, all right. Okay, all right. Thank you. All right, okay, so I can see that good number of us are giving the right answer. So the two numbers are +3 and -2. +3 and negative. So now let's incorporate that here. So we have 3r squared plus 3r minus 2r minus 2 equals to 0. Okay, here you can find the GCD of this. So, and that is what? So that is r, or 3r. Okay, so that's 3r because 3 can go in these two. So we have, when you divide this by 3r, 3r squared divided by 3r, so you have r plus what? Plus 1. So what's the GCD here? That's -2. So when you divide this by -2, you have r, this plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, so find the GCD of these two terms. We have r plus 1 and 3r minus 2 equals to 0. All right, so what do we have next? Now we have two numbers multiplying each other to have 0. So it's either r plus 1 equals to 0 or 3r minus 2 equals to 0. So we have r equals to -1 or 3r equals to 2. So here you can divide both sides by 2. So we have r equals to 2 over 3. All right. So these are the answers. So these are the roots of this quadratic equation. So now you have to be careful when you see this type of question. All right, you may not know that is a quadratic equation. So until when you simplify, now you now see that it's actually a quadratic equation. So now let us pick another question. All right, so I'm picking this one on the approximation. Okay. A student measures a stick as 39 centimeter long. However, there is one negative 3% error in these measurements. What is the true length? The true length to the nearest whole number. All right, so that is the question. So how do we solve this problem? Now this problem is under approximation. Right, now a student measures a stick as 39 centimeter long. However, there is a negative 3% error in this measurement. So what is the true length to the nearest whole number? So okay, so how do we solve this problem? Right, so how do we solve this? Now we are given the estimated length of measurements, that is 39 centimeter. So actual length, let's represent that with x. Okay, so now let us now make use of our formula percentage error. So we have percentage error is the error, which is the same thing as estimated minus the actual. Estimated minus the actual over actual times 100%. So estimated minus the actual. Okay. All right. So now let's plug in this. This has been given. Percentage error is negative 3%. Okay. So estimated is 39 minus the actual, and that's what we're actually looking for. So we've represented that with x. That is why we have x here over x times 100%. So here you can divide both sides by this percentage. All right, so the next thing we do here is to cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, this x multiplies this negative 3. So we have negative 3x equals to 100 times 39 minus x. Okay, so let's open the brackets. So we have negative 3x equals to 3,900 minus 100x. Okay, so now we can collect the like terms. Negative 3x plus 100x equals to 3,900. All right, so here, what do we have here? We have 97x equals to 3,900. So you can divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So we have x equals to 3,900 over 97. Okay, and don't forget, now the question asks you to leave your answer to the nearest whole number. So now by the time you do this, you'll be having the number of, you can punch that on your calculator, so you have 40. So that's going to be 40.1 something. So our answer to the nearest whole number is going to be 40 centimeters. Okay, so that's going to be the answer. So the actual length of the stick is 40 centimeters, and that's the answer to that problem. All right, so I want to believe you guys understand that explanation. So I want to encourage you, if you are just joining this platform for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to tap the like button. All right, thank you. So now let us look at another question. All right, now this question is under variation. Let's take this question under variation. If P is directly proportional to T and Y, and T is decreased by 10% and Y by 30%. Find the percentage decrease in P. Find the percentage decrease in P. Okay, so let us look at the question on the board. Does it look like what we can do? Yes. Does it look at what we can do? All right. Okay. All right. So I want you to examine the problem before I start solving it. So let's look at it together. Now, P is directly proportional to T and Y, and T is decreased by 10% and Y by 30%. Find the percentage decrease in P. Okay, so how do we do this? Now, let's write out the variation. So we have P is directly proportional to T, right? Directly proportional. This is the sign for proportionality. Okay, directly proportional to T and Y. And in this context means multiplication, and Y, that is times Y. Right? So now this implies that P equals to KTY, where K is a constant. Now don't forget, you need to tell us what K is. All right. Good. So now let's move on. Now the question now says that T is decreased by 10%. You know, when something is decreased by 10%, it means that 100 is reduced by 10. Now let me give you an instance. If something is not reduced at all, it's always at 100 over 100. Or I simply say 100%. If nothing is decreased or increased, it is 100%. So if it is decreased by 10%, what is it going to become? is going to be reduced by 10. So it's going to be what? 90%. And that is the same thing as what? 90 over 100 of whatever thing that is being discussed. Okay, so I want to believe you understand that. So in this case, now we are told now that T is decreased by 10%. So that means P, let's call it T1 rather, T1 will be 90 over 100 of T. So that means T is no longer complete again, has been reduced by 10%. So, and this is what it means to be reduced by 10%. All right? So now this is the same thing as 9T over 10. Okay, because here is 0 cancels 0 here. So you are left with 9 over 10T. You get that? Okay, so now let's move on. Now, and y by 30%. So that means y is also decreased by 30%. So we have y1 will be, what will that one be? Can you tell me? So what is going to be the percentage of y1? Since y have been reduced by 30%, so I want to see maybe you are following the class. So drop your answer in the comment section. All right, so what is y? Y decreased by 10%. What do we have? Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, we're all doing fine. So now y have been decreased by 10%. So it's no longer 100% again now. So that means it's going to be 70 over 100. And that is not 70, it is 70 over 100. Without reduction is 100 over 100. So when it's being reduced by 30% is what? 70 over 100. I hope you understand that. So of what? Of y. So that means this will be reduced to 7y over 10. All right? Good. So now, the question asks you to find the percentage decrease in y. So we want to get the percentage decrease in y. So how do we do that? All right, so let's look at what we have here. So we have P1, because we want to know this is the new P, the P that have been decreased due to decrease in T and Y. So that is going to be what? K T1 Y1. All right. So we have P1 equals to K times T1. T1 is 90 over 10 times Y1 is 7y over 10. I hope you understand that. Good. So we have P1 equals to, now let's multiply everything together. We have 84 over 100 KTY. All right, just multiply the alphabet together and the numbers. Okay, so that is what we have there. All right, and don't forget, this is the same thing as P. All right, this is the same thing as P. So can we just plug in the value of P there? So that means we have P1 equals to 84 over 100 P. All right, 84 over 100 P. Okay, now I need the final answer from you guys. What is going to be the answer? Now, you have to find the percentage decrease in P. So what is going to be the percentage decrease in P? So if you know the answer, I want you to drop it in the comment section fast. the percentage decrease in P? All right, drop your answer and let me see. Okay, okay, all right. I can see different answers. Different answers. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, now the question is, what is going to be the percentage decrease in P? Now, when you look at what we have here, now you will see now that these have been reduced, because if it's not reduced, it's going to be in 100 over 100. That is 100%, but it has been reduced. Don't forget, when T was reduced by 10, we have it as 90 over 100. So this time around now we have 84 over 100. So the percentage decrease is going to be 100 minus 84. So percentage decrease in P is going to be 100 minus 84%. So what is going to be the answer? That's going to be 16%. So, and those of you that have 16%, that is very good. You can put your hands together for yourself. That's very smart of you. All right, so that's the answer. Okay. Okay. All right. Can we move down to the next one? I'm trying to look at the comment here. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, thank you for that observation and the multiplication. All right. So that is the one reason why whenever you are solving, you have to go through this. So uh, that should be 63. Okay, all right. So we have 63. Now, so this is going to be 63. So now what is now going to be the answer this time around? So what's going to be the answer this time around? Okay. So that is what? 37, right? So that's going to be 37%. So that's what we're going to have for that. Okay. So thank you for the observation. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move down to another question. Okay. Can I pick this question from quadratic equation? Let me pick this question from quadratic equation. Right. So we have solve 4y squared plus 5y minus 21 equals to 0. Okay, so that's the question. Now to solve this is very easy. All we just need to do is to identify the sum and the product. Okay, so here, what is the sum and what is the product? Sum is what? Sum is the coefficient of y, and that is what? Plus 5, right? Okay, so and what is the product? The multiplication of this and this. So what is it going to give us? That's 84, negative 84. Right, 4 times negative 21, that's negative 84. So now we need two numbers such that when multiplied together you have negative 84. When added together you have 5. What are the two numbers? Okay, is it going to be plus 12 and negative 7? Now let's look at it. I think that's what we're going to have. Yes, if that is what we have, as well, drop that in the comment section. Okay, so now let's plug in this here. So we have 4y squared plus 12y negative 7y minus 21 equals to 0. Okay, so now you'll find the GCD of these two terms. So what is the GCD? That's 4y. So when you divide this by 4y, we have y plus 3. Okay, what's the GCD here? Negative 7. We have y plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, so now you can factor this out. So when you factor it out, you have y plus 3 times 4y minus 7 equals to 0. Okay, so two numbers are multiplying each other to have 0. So it's either y plus 3 equals to 0 or 4y minus 7 equals to 0. All right, so we have y equals to negative 3 or 4y equals to 7. You get that? So now y equals to 7 over 4 here. So, and the answer is going to be 1 over 3 over 4. All right, so these are the roots of this quadratic equation. So I want to believe you guys understand that. That's very simple. We have been doing questions like this for some time. All right, so if you are still having issue with quadratic equation, I will advise you to view my previous videos. So you are going to learn one or two things there. Right, and also if you are new on this channel and you have not subscribed to this channel and you love what we are doing here, so ensure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to tap the like button. Thank you for doing that. So now I'm picking another question. Now let me look at this question under logical reasoning. Let's look at this under logical reasoning. Verify whether negation of A by conditional A or B and A is a contradiction or a tautology. All right, so how do we solve this problem? You have to verify whether this proposition is a contradiction or a tautology. All right, so we know the condition for us to have a contradiction when our results or the truth value of this proposition is false, irrespective of the antecedent or the consequence. Okay, so and also the same thing also applies to tautology. Once the result of this proposition is true, then we say that proposition is what? Is a tautology. All right, so now let us verify this. All right, so now create a table. The first one we have A, and the second one we have P, because we have two statements here, statement A and B, as you can see here. So now let's start with true, true, false, false. And the next one is going to be true, false, true, false. Okay. So now find the negation of A. Negation of A. Now you negate everything we have here. So this is going to give you false, false, true, and what? And true. That's the negation. Okay. So now look at the table we have here. So we have A or B. So let's create a column for A or B. A or B. All right. A or B. A or B. True or true is what? True. True or false is true. False or true is true. And the false or false is false. Okay. So now the next thing now is to combine this by conditional negation of A by conditional A or B, right? Can you see that now? So the proposition determines what I have in my table. All right, so I have this for negation of A, and the A or B is here. So now let us look at it now. Don't forget your biconditional. You will have a truth value of true if the two statements are the same. That is, if we have true, true, or we have false, false. That is the only condition that will make us to have true. Okay, but if the two statements are not the same thing, the result is going to be false. Now let's see. Now true biconditional true, that is going to give us false. They are not the same. All right. True, false biconditional true is false. True biconditional true, because they are the same, is going to be true. And true biconditional false is going to be false. Okay. Now the final one is this. So we have negation of A by conditional A or B, okay, everything in bracket, and A. Now don't forget and. And is very strict. We can only have a truth value of true if the two statements are true. Okay, right. So now let's combine this and A. So these are the two statements we are combining. Now, true and false is false. True and false is false. False and true is false. And false and false is false. Now, as you can see now, all the result here is false. What does it imply? It implies that this proposition is what? A contradiction. Since all the results here are false. Okay, so I want to believe you all understand that. Okay, so that's how to verify whether it is a contradiction or a tautology. Suppose all what we have here now is true, then we say is a tautology. All right. Okay. So let's move down to another question. Okay, so what is the next question on my list here? All right. So this question is solve is an initial equation. Solve 3x raised to power of negative 1 over 3 equals to negative 15. All right. So can I give you like few seconds to tell me what the answer to that question is? So can you kindly do this and let's see what you're going to have. It's a very simple question. So let's do it. Let's look at it and let me see what you're going to have for that. All right. I want you to drop your answer to that if you can make an attempt. So you should be able to do it within a few seconds. Okay. Yes, Taiwo, what do you have? Okay, I can see our progress. Yes, let's see what you can do. All right. I don't think anybody is dropping an answer here. All right. I'm actually checking. Okay. All right. I can see one. That's good. Lower Fumi. Yes. 1 over 1 to 5. Yes. Another person. All right. Okay. So now while you are doing it, I know some of you um, actually battling with it. So let's do it together and see. Now we have 3x raised to the power of negative 1 over 3 equals to negative 15. Now what's the first thing? The first thing is to divide both sides by 3. So we have x raised to the power of negative 1 over 3 equals to negative 15 over 3. Okay, because we actually want to make x to be the solid of the formula. So we have x to the power of negative 1 over 3 equals to negative 5. All right. So now the next thing now is to multiply the power by the negative of reciprocal of what we have here, the power of x. So that we clear what we have on x. So this becomes x raised to power of negative 1 over 3 times negative 3 over 1. That's the reciprocal of this equals to negative 5 raised to power of negative 3. Okay, can you see that now? So now negative 3 cancels negative 3. So we have x raised to power of 1. This is the same thing as 1 over negative 5 raised to power of 3. And the answer is going to be 1 over negative 125. So, and that is the answer to the problem. 5 times 5 times 5, that is 125. Okay, so that is the answer to that. Okay, yes, another question. Now, let me quickly ask you this question before I give you another interesting question. Okay, So now convert 845.87 to two significant figure. Yes. Can we quickly do this? Yes, I want to see the first person that will drop the correct answer. Now you have to convert 845.87 to two significant figure. That's under approximation. Yes. All right. Okay. I've seen someone, that's Joseph. All right. So who else is giving an answer? Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, I can see almost the same answer for everything. So I want to believe nobody is looking at another person's answer. Okay. So now, yes, the correct answer is 850. Now, how did we get 850? Now, two significant figures. This is the first significant digit. This is the second one. So this is where I'm supposed to stop. But the next one is up to 5. So you increase this by 1. So you have 85. But this digit here is before the decimal point. So you have to turn it to 0. And that's how you have this. Okay. Now, the second question I'm asking you based on that, you convert this to 4 SF, 4 significant figure. Yes. This to 4 significant figure. Yes. So who is the first person dropping the answer? 4 significant figure. First significant figure, yes. Oh, all right, okay. All right, Oluwafemi is the first person to drop the answer. Okay, that's very good. Okay, that's good. We are all doing fine. All right. Okay, so to 4SF, to 4SF. So 4 significant digits. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are stopping here. This is what you are writing. But the next digit to the last count is up to 5. So we have 845.9. But don't forget, digit after the decimal point cannot be changed to 0. So you have to truncate digits. Okay. So now you are going to do the same thing for me now for this. 0.04097. Okay, so can you see this now? Yes, convert 0.040975 to 3 significant figure. 3 significant figure. Yes. Okay. Show me there is the first person to drop an answer. So I hope that is the correct answer. Yes, let's wait for others. Okay, 00810. Yes, that's okay. Are you sure of what you are typing? Okay. Nabila, I can see your answer. Okay, well done. All right. Okay, Adiomi. All right. Can see that. All right. Okay. All right. Let's look at the question together. I observed that there are some of us that didn't get the answer as well. All right. So let's look at it. Now, this is significant figure. Now, the first significant digit is 4 here. This is the first significant digit, the first one. Now, it can't be this, it can't be this. All right? So you start from here. This 1, 2, 3, and this is what you are writing, everything here. But when you look at it now, at your last count, the next digit to hit is up to 5. So you have to increase this by 1. So now your answer is going to be 0.0410. So this will be the answer. So it's not 0.041. So it's 0.0410. Okay? So that is the answer to the problem. So I want to believe you all understand that. Okay. So the last one on this, convert 67.4 to 2 decimal places. If it is possible, let me know. If it's not possible, let me know. So if it is possible, so drop your answer. If it's not possible, let us know. Okay, so yes, I want you to drop your answer. Convert 67.4 to 2 decimal. Wow. Not possible. Okay. Right. Some people made it possible. Wow. Okay. Okay, good. All right. I think now we can now reconcile that. So 67.4. Now, 2 decimal places. It means that you count 2 digits after the decimal point. You must count. You must count 2 digits. So this is the first one. The second one is 0. So you have to put 0 there. So this is going to be the answer. So it is possible. Okay. Even if you are given 7, if you have to write 7 in 2 decimal places, so you must put 0.00. This is 2 decimal places. Okay, so I want to believe you guys get that. All right, so now before we do the last question for today, which is an interesting question. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, ensure you do that. I observed that some of us we didn't tap the like button. Ensure you do that straight away. Okay, thank you for doing that. Make sure you tap the like button. All right. So the time taken for a car All right, now let's look at this question. So I want to believe every one of you can see the board. Can you all see the board? All right, before we solve the problem, can we see the board? Is the board clear? Okay, can we all see the board? Can we see the board? Okay, okay. All right, thank you. Now, the question says the time taken for a car to travel a distance is partly constant and partly varies as the square of the fuel used. If it takes 56 minutes to use 12 liters of fuel and 2 hours to use 20 liters, how long will 10 liters last? Okay, so now this is a partial variation question. So we start by saying let's capital letter T to represent or to be equals to time, the time taken by the car, okay, time taken by the car, and let's R to be equals to the fuel used or the volume of fuel used. Okay. All right. So we can now go back to the question now. So the time taken for a car to travel. So we have T. Car to travel is partly constant. That is equals to a constant. So let's represent that constant with small letter A. It's partly constant and plus partly varies with the square of the fuel use. So the fuel use is R, okay? The constant will be B, right? So we now have A, comma B are constants. Please always remember to show this. It's very, very important. Your A and B is the constant. All right. So now we have been given that it takes 56 minutes to use 12 liters. So now let's plug in the value. So we have 56. That is the time equals to A plus. Now the volume of fuel is 12. We have 12. But don't forget, I think this is square now. So we have to put square here. So that's 12 square B. All right. I hope you understand that. So that means that this is 56 equals to A plus 144B. So let's call this equation 1. Now let's move on now. And 2 hours to use 20 liters. So these hours, we convert it to minutes, right? 60 minutes make 1 hour. So if 60 minutes is the same thing as 1 hour, so that means that 120 will be equals to what? 2 hours. 120 minutes is 2 hours. So that means the time is going to be what? 120. 120 equals to A plus. Now, and what is going to be the volume used? 12 hours to use 20 liters. So we have 20 square times B, and that is 120 equals to A plus 400P. So we call this equation 2. All right. So now we subtract one equation from the other. All right. So now let us subtract 56 from this. What do we have? We have 64. Okay. We have 64. Right. So here, what do we have here? We have 266 or 56. 56. 256b. So that is what we have. Now we divide both sides by the coefficient of b. So we have 64 divided by 256 equals to b. So therefore, b equals to 1/4. Okay? All right. So that is b. So now let's get a. Let's get the second constant. Now the second constant, we plug in the value of b into any of the equation. Let's plug it into equation 1. So we have 56 equals to a plus 144 times 1/4. Okay, so because that is b, so can we find a way of reducing this? Now let's see. 2 goes here, 2 goes here is 72. Okay, and 2 goes here, 1, 2 goes here is 36. So that means that we have 56 equals to a plus 36, right? So now let's subtract 36 from both sides. We have 56 equals minus 36 equals to a. So a is what? A is 20. So we now have the value for the two constants. So we can plug that into this equation to get the connecting formula. Right? Thus, t equals to a, which is 20, plus r, b is what? 1/4. So that is r squared over 4. So this is the connecting formula. All right. So now, but the question wants us to find the time that the car will use to consume 10 liters of fuel. Okay, so how do we do that? So now let us plug in this value. This one is r. So we have t equals to 20 plus 10 squared over 4. Okay. All right. So we have t equals to 20 plus 100/4. So t will be 20 plus 25. Okay. So that means t will be equals to what? So when you add this and this together, you have 45. 45 what? Minutes. 45 minutes. So that is the answer to the problem. So I want to believe you guys have learned one or two things. So I want to advise you, you search for problems, similar problems, you try and lay your hands on them. The more you solve, the better you become. All right. Okay. So thank you very much. I want to appreciate every one of you for your participation. Right. Okay. So thank you very much. Those of you that just subscribed today, thank you very much. And if you are yet to subscribe, ensure you do that. If you have not tapped the like button, make sure you do that. Okay. And just like I used to say, ensure that you view other videos that are relevant to what we have done. You always learn one or two things. Okay. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.